in a faraway kingdom, where the air was gentle and the nights were long, there was a royal garden filled with blossoms, quiet paths, and the sound of fountains. At the heart of this garden stood a tree unlike any other, its branches bent under the weight of golden apples, and when sunlight touched them, they glowed softly, as though each held a fragment of dawn. Every evening, the apples were counted, and yet, as the stars traveled across the sky, one would vanish by morning. The king, who cherished this tree more than any treasure, grew restless. He ordered his gardener to keep watch beneath the branches. The gardener's eldest son was the first to try. He sat beneath the tree as midnight drew near, but drowsiness wrapped around him like a heavy blanket, and before long he slept. At dawn, another apple was gone. The second son tried next, but he too fell asleep, and another apple vanished. At last, the youngest son asked to keep watch. Though his father feared harm might come to him, he agreed. As the clock struck 12, the night grew hushed. Then came a sound, faint and silken, like wings brushing against the breeze. Out of the darkness glided a bird, shining with feathers of pure gold. It perched softly on a branch and reached toward one of the glowing apples. The young man raised his bow. His arrow flew, but it harmed the bird not. Instead, a single golden feather floated gently to the ground, shimmering in the starlight. The feather was brought before the king. It gleamed so brightly that the council declared it worth more than the wealth of the whole kingdom. But the king only said, "A feather is not enough. I must have the bird itself." So began the quest. One by one, the gardener's sons set out to find the golden bird. The eldest went first. On his journey, he came across a fox who spoke kindly and gave him advice. When you reach the village, choose the plain and humble inn, not the one filled with music and light. But the son scoffed at the words, turned aside, and chased after pleasures. He never returned. The second brother followed the same path. He too met the fox, received the same gentle counsel, and ignored it. Drawn to laughter and merrymaking, he also forgot his quest and did not return. At last, the youngest son set out. He met the fox as well, but unlike his brothers, he listened. Grateful for the advice, he sat upon the fox's tail, and together they traveled swiftly through woods and meadows, the wind rushing past like a song. When he reached the village, he turned away from the bright inn and chose the quiet, shabby one. There he rested in peace. The fox guided him further to a castle where the golden bird rested in a wooden cage. "Take the bird as it is," the fox warned, "but do not place it in the gilded cage beside it." The young man obeyed at first, but then thought it a pity to leave such a radiant creature in a plain cage. The moment he moved the bird, it cried out so loudly that the guards awoke. He was captured and brought before the king of that land. The king declared that he would be spared only if he could bring back a golden horse that ran swifter than the wind. Saddened, the young man set out again, and once more the fox appeared. "You did not follow my counsel," the fox said gently, "yet I will help you again. Take the horse, but place upon it the old leather saddle, not the golden one beside it." The young man tried, but once again temptation pulled him astray. When he lifted the golden saddle, the groom awoke, the guards rushed in, and he was captured again. Now the task was to bring back a princess of extraordinary beauty. With patience, and with the fox's continued guidance, he succeeded at last. The princess agreed to follow him, and with her came the golden horse and the golden bird. Together they traveled homeward, their journey steady and brightened by trust and kindness. But even then, there were trials. His brothers, who had been lost along the way, betrayed him, seeking to claim the treasures as their own. Yet the truth could not be hidden. The golden horse would not move for them, the golden bird would not sing, and the princess wept for her true companion. At last, the youngest son's goodness was revealed, and the kingdom rejoiced at his return. The fox, who had guided him so faithfully, asked only one final favor: "Strike off my head and my feet and free me." With sorrow, the young man obeyed, and in that moment the fox was transformed into a man, the long-lost brother of the princess, restored after many years. And so the tale found its gentle ending. The golden bird sang softly in the garden once more. The golden horse trod gracefully across the fields. The princess and the young man ruled with kindness, their hearts steady and light.